So here we have my Hello World program from last time. You can see the label in here. If we scroll down, you can see the print line from the very start, and you can see the change in text to Hello User as soon as the view loads. But really, that's not any different than me changing it here. So why bother? The idea is that we want this to be interactive. We want it to change. So an easy way to do that, and an effective way to do that, is actually with a button. And that's also good too, because that not only makes the change apparent to the user, but it also allows the user to interact with it. You might feel that you're not necessarily ready for that. That might seem a little too much, but actually buttons are really easy. So we need to bring back our right sideboard. Make sure that we have the object library shown. I'm going to go ahead and just move this up so you can see more of the options. So once again, you can search through here until you can find the button, which I just passed a moment ago, or you can search for it. And just like before, we're just going to drag it onto our screen. And that little blue line there tells me that it's centered in the middle of my text box, so that sounds good to me. And we can double click on it just like the text to make some changes. And I'm going to call it toggle text, and that will make sense in a moment. Just like before, I can click this little tool up here, which is actually was already by default. Let's make this go down a little bit, and we can change some of the options just like we could with this. We can change the color, we can change the shadow color. Now keep in mind that the default that pops up is kind of the standard for the current version of iOS. So if you leave it that way, it's going to help users realize that that's a button to press. So you want to be careful when you're changing some of that. I do want to make this font a bit bigger though. And we'll center it. Alright, so we can go ahead and get rid of that now because we don't need that anymore. And let's make it actually do something. So I'm going to scroll up to where the variable is for my text. I'm going to put a little bit of white space in there. And just like with the text, I'm going to grab my button. I'm going to hold Control, click, and drag it over here. It doesn't matter if it's above or below, as long as it's not inside of your other functions. Now, before we created an outlet, and that's the default, but we don't want an outlet. What we want is we want an action. So it'll actually do something, and we need to give it a name. So I want my name to sort of reflect what it's going to do. So I'm going to tell it that the name is going to be intro toggle text. So it's going to toggle the introducing text. We're going to tell it to connect. Now notice this is not a variable, this is a function and it has curly braces. So, can you guess what we need to do? If we want it to change the text when they click it, then we actually just need to put this inside of here. So I want to go ahead and change this to be hello user, and I want to change this to be hello iOS. And let's give it a try. Alright, hello world. We have our toggle text button. We have hello user. If we click, hello iOS. Now, it's not really a toggle because it doesn't toggle it back, but it did change it, so that's a step in the right direction.